6 months, a year, 2 years, 4 years for the whole term. Like I can't foresee it happening for for years down the road. But like at what point? And I'm not. And again, I think the biggest thing is I don't have an answer. I don't know what the solution is. I think it's interesting to hear that both Canada and Ontario are going to leave their current tariffs in place right now. Doug Ford saying today he's still going to slap that 25% charge on electricity, that tax on electricity that goes to Minnesota and Michigan and New York, that it's staying, right? And that will stay unless tariffs are done completely, because I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong if you've heard, it's like 95% of goods, 95% of goods under the agreement.
Correct. Which means for the next month, 95% of the goods that were about to be tariffed into oblivion are not going to be touched for now.
For now, exactly. So that's where we're at, and then it's the reciprocal tariffs on April 2nd. But how long is this going to go on? This is exhausting. For you and I are dialed into this. I think a lot of our listeners, a lot of the public is also dialed in, but not nearly even as much as we are to be able to talk through this every day. And it's got to be exhausting for the average person to be going through this, right? The Canadian pride is wonderful. The unity is there. We're seeing it across the political spectrum. You're seeing it across, whether it's in the public. We continue to do these stories about people and Canadians standing together, taking down the interprovincial trade barriers, which is all...
In 500 meters, at the roundabout, take the second exit.
But how much more of this are we going to have to take over the course of the next few months where it is? So I think that, hearing today, I agree that, the government of Canada's $30 billion of tariffs staying in effect right now. That's going to affect Canadian consumers, though, too. Don't forget, because we talked about the American tariffs and those affecting prices on Americans first. If the Canadian and Ontario tariffs are staying in place, right, no U.S. booze on the shelves or whatnot, which is a huge, we've heard the uproar from some of those politicians in the southern U.S. in particular that's saying Canada and Ontario are going too far by doing that. That's a painful move that's still staying in place. So
in 300 meters, turn right.
Canada are not completely backing off, despite President Trump once again pulling a full 180 and saying, nah, we're good.